Hey everyone, and welcome back to an insight into streaming. In part 2, I will talk about what happened in my early days of streaming and how my new community turned toxic fast, and the impact this had on myself mentally, and how I managed to overcome the toxicity and find a community that we now adore. A toxic community. With our new community growing, thanks to the change of pace and the new games we were playing, things seemed great. Everyone was having a good time in the chat and vibing really well. We would bring the viewers into play on Friday nights and show off our cool designs for our cars and compete with each other, but would always try to keep it fun and fair in the chat. This didn't last long, as it's one thing to type in a chat, but it's a whole different environment when people join a voice chat together. Before we knew it, the viewers would join the voice chat, would start to get angry with each other if someone was winning or doing better than them in some shape or form. This would lead to childish name-calling and petty insults. At first, it just seemed like harmless banter among people getting to know each other, but as each new day passed, it only got worse, and break out into open shouting matches with myself stuck in the middle of it all. We very quickly realized people were taking sides in the issues that arose from the most childish things, such as who beat who and, oh, someone is just salty that they lost. To try and salvage what we had as a community, I would begin to separate people and only allow certain people to play together. This was beginning to create even bigger rift among the followers and the viewers alike. To avoid losing what I had worked to build up to this point, I decided it was time to switch things up again in the games that we would stream. This led me to Rainbow Six Siege, the beginning of the end of my first community. Now forced to change up the game, I stream regularly to Rainbow Six Siege. I felt that maybe if we could get the community to work together to achieve a common goal, it might bring an end to the toxicity and bring us all closer together. For the first few weeks, things were great again. New viewers were joining the stream and looking to play, but I told myself, no, stick to your ways and continue follower playdays, which were every Friday night. Now, anyone who streamed on Mixer between 2018 and 2019 knows all too well about the blueberries, asking to play and the old classic, you're my favorite streamer, before they even say hello for the first time. We have plenty of interactions like this on a daily basis, and yes, it does get on your nerves, but as a streamer, it comes with the territory. My community, on the other hand, didn't see it this way, and would take it upon themselves to tell these individuals where to go, if you catch my drift. This would continue to only get worse the more frequently these blueberries would appear, and continue to ask no matter how many times I would politely refuse if I wasn't playing with followers. The community members would start to berate the blueberries with insults and vulgar slurs, thinking it was all in just good fun. At first I thought people were just trolling me on multiple accounts, and sometimes they were, and that my community was just looking out for me and trying to defend the stream from these trolling blueberries. But when genuine new potential viewers would enter the stream, the community would instantly jump down their throats and berate them for even asking to play. Some people would fire back, and the community began to slip back into their old ways. But myself and Willow would tell them to stop, and I'd say around about 80% of the time they would actually listen, but if they didn't, Willow would just happily time them out for a while. And as Willow would put it, don't test me, I'll put you in the naughty corner so you can think about what you've done. Like guys, that's an actual quote from Willow. In comes a new community member who was really good at Siege and offers to help me get better at the game, and I gladly accept. Oh, and FYI, I still suck at Siege. We quickly formed a bond together after days on and off stream playing the game and getting better each day, but not much, as previously stated. This person was a massive factor also into why my first community was such a failure, and why I needed to start again fresh. But more on that later in another video. The community turns on myself and Willow. As the weeks went by, with the toxicity starting to reach new levels, I asked Willow if she would join me to play Siege, in hopes that, with a woman joining us, it will perhaps quell the toxic masculinity within the voice chat, and we can go back to having a good time and enjoying the game together as a community. This worked for about a week, and looking back at it, I couldn't have been more wrong if I'd tried. Willow at this time, being very new to gaming, and FPS games in general, had a hard time picking up the controls and getting into the pace that a game like Siege sets up for its players. Each day she would learn something new and grew more confident and was more than happy to join me on the game. But the community would soon turn on Willow, accusing her of being the reason they lost in a match, tell her she was trash, and call her horrible names when I got up to go to the bathroom or had to do something that required me to put down the headset for a minute or two. Willow didn't tell me about this for a while, until I came back to hear it all firsthand. Willow was too ashamed and embarrassed and started to believe it was all her fault. This caused Willow to stop playing games with me altogether on stream, almost causing a rift in our relationship, as I couldn't understand why at the time. Now, if you watch Willow today, you will see that she is an awesome gamer, especially when it comes to games such as Overwatch or Apex Legends. Both these games are FPS, and she gets better with every single game that she plays. Now, after hearing what the community members were saying firsthand, I absolutely lost it with them, and I had it out with them through the voice chat. Things were said that I'm not proud of, but I will never apologize for. As far as I'm concerned, I was defending my partner and those who have experienced this kind of toxicity when they first start playing video games. I myself had experienced this many years before when I first started playing online, and I still receive the same kind of toxicity today. Leaving the toxicity behind. With everything that had happened with Willow, myself, and the community, I knew I had to make a choice. Let it go and continue, or quit streaming entirely. This was a decision that ate away at me for weeks. I absolutely loved streaming. It gave me a sense of purpose, a belonging. But the other side, the nasty side of the community, was too much for me to take anymore. Now, many streamers have felt this way numerous times throughout their careers for multiple reasons. Be it the same as myself and my situation, or be it other reasons such as personal lives just getting in the way, or be it that they just are not finding success in the streaming industry. Of course, I'd like to dive into this a little bit more in another video down the line. I would lay awake at night trying to figure out what I would do. Do I walk away from what I've built, or do I push on with what remains of my so-called community? After many discussions about the subject with Willow, she helped me realize why I love streaming and why I do what I do. And I knew right then I had to cleanse my stream of the toxicity once and for all and start over. Work harder than I had ever worked before. That point to build something I could be proud of and would actually want to be a part of. This, of course, led to a mass banning of every toxic community member and allowed me to refocus my efforts to build something very special. Starting over. Now, with a newfound focus and drive, I put all my energy into learning about streaming and the different types of streams, different styles of streaming, and even the analytical side to streaming. Through this study and research, we found a goal we actually wanted to reach. That goal, as many as you may know, was Mixer Partnership. Now, with 0 viewers and a shared community, I knew I would have to work hard and create something unique that I can build upon over time and hopefully achieve this goal of becoming partner. I continued to stream Rainbow Six Siege as I found there was an opportunity for growth as we had previously achieved before the, shall we say, event. Growth was slow to begin with, as many people had recognized the name Psychotic Kill for being a toxic place. But through hard work, determination, networking, growth began to rise at a steady rate. I knew if I wanted to become a partner, I would need to do something special. That's something that made me stand out among the other streamers on the platform that was surely looking to achieve the same goal. I looked into multiple interests of mine and finally stopped at an idea that I was so passionate about, and the idea filled me with so much excitement of endless creative possibilities that this idea could create. And yes, that idea was in fact the creation of ACW. Thank you for listening to part 2 of an insight into streaming. In the next part, I will talk about how we got started in creating ACW, the highs and lows of the creative process, and what it's like to build something you can really be proud of. But also, guys, I stream on Twitch every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with my schedule posted on my Twitch channel with links to my socials in the description. As always, guys, have an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.